Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? Today we're going to make this recipe called I call it Taco Cabbage. And this really could qualify as a keto recipe. It's definitely low carb. You may have to, finagle a few things and fix it to where it fits into your macros if you're doing keto. These are the spices and ingredients that I'm using for the dish. You can adjust it to your preferences. Turn it up or tone it down or change it up however you like, according to your taste. At the end of the video, I'll be sure and put up the amounts of each ingredient. Alright, well, let's get ready to jump into this video, but first, let's do this video's Bible verse. Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Hallelujah. Okay, guys, let's get into this taco cabbage. Let's go. I started by pulling out of my freezer ground beef. I freeze them in a half-pound pack, so I got 2 of these, and so that makes 1 pound, and I'll let it thaw out. Okay, here we go with the taco cabbage. I start with old trusty, my cast iron skillet. You'll see me using this thing a lot in my videos because I use it a lot. I love my cast iron. That's probably my favorite cookware is cast iron. And I use all types, but I love cast iron. I start with that pound of ground beef. I get that cooking and I add in 1 chopped onion and 1 chopped bell pepper. And I'm browning the ground beef over a medium heat. I was just thinking I should be able to tell you the time it should take to brown up a pound of ground beef, but it's not coming to me, and I've done it a million times, I'm sure. I'm adding in all the seasonings all together all at once that I had measured out. Guys, I didn't drain the fat off of the meat. Sometimes I will, but if it's a keto or low carb recipe, I don't, because higher fat is part of keto and low carb. So if there happens to be someone that just has never cooked a ground beef before, just, you're aiming to get it done browned, you see no pink or red. Here you see me adding in the paste picante sauce, and I'll add in water. And I have to apologize, guys, I'm not the best filmographer yet. I'm very new to this, and I've got a long way to go, a lot to learn. I'm enjoying the process. Just bear with me, and this is a really good recipe in spite of my not having the camera directly to where you can view what I'm doing. The point of the liquid at this point is to mix in the dry ingredients, get those mixed in well as the paste picante sauce to get that flavor profile blending up well together. Did you catch that? Picante, tomato. Which is the correct way for me to pronounce the picante sauce, guys? Comment below, let me know. Okay, from here, as you see, I'm giving it a good stir, a vigorous stir, would you say? I don't know. I'll let that simmer while I'm getting ready for the next step. But wait just a second. Before we move on to the next step, I gotta share with you the cuteness intermission. That's on the left, that's Charles Archer, aka the boss of everything here. And on the right is my sweet little doll baby Pippa. She's my little foodie, so I'm kind of surprised she's not in the kitchen up under my feet, my little puppy kitty. Now, fur babies make my house a home, that's for sure. This is a very large head of cabbage that I chopped up, and I used part of it for just a small part of it for a recipe that you can find on my channel. It's called Jazzy Noodles, and it's a short, or you can look up the longer version. That's the 5 quickie recipes. It's also used in there. Okay, here we are to the next step. With clean washed hands, I start adding in the chopped cabbage into the taco meat mixture. And I am going to use a good amount of this cabbage. And I realize I've got to get better at telling amounts and measurements and so forth. I've been cooking for so long that I just do it off the cuff, off the hip. And so I'm going to guesstimate how much. I think I probably used 4 to 6 cups of cabbage in this recipe. Cook down gradually over time. See, I've squeezed it all in there. and I cover it with a lid and let it cook down, because I want that cabbage, for my texture preference, I want it to get fairly soft, and that's going to take a while. At this point, I'm cooking it probably at a medium to medium high heat, because I'm trying to get it done. I was hungry and I was ready to eat, and also that medium boil like that is going to get that cabbage to the right consistency and texture that I want. It's getting there. I would say probably 75% to 80% ready at this point. Just a little long. Hopefully nobody gets on here and yells at me for my metal spoon. That's what I was using. I have different types, but I don't know. That's what I grabbed and what I used to cook this recipe. And this is what it's looking like. I'm going to post here the macro carb count and fat protein count. That count doesn't include like toppings that I'm going to add to it in a few moments, like cheese and sour cream, etc. So depending on what style of keto, like if you're doing dirty keto, very strict keto, your toppings are going to allow here, it's just going to be based on that. For instance, you know, you might not add the picante or the tomato. You might just add the cheese and sour cream and possibly green onion to if you want to be really, really strict with your keto. I find that I tend to stick to the plan better if I'm just a little bit more lenient. I would say probably I vary on the dirty side of keto when I do keto. Okay, I'm ready to plate this up, and I'm probably given very healthy portions. I divided the total ingredients of the whole recipe into 6 portions in the macro calculator. By the time I add the extra toppings plus the wine to my meal, my carb count will go up, and I'll post the total count for my meal. I sort of showed it, I split the difference in the meals, so before you add the toppings, so you could adjust and plan if you're doing a very strict keto to not add these items to it. I don't ever stay completely on keto. I tend to carb cycle between keto, low carb, and high carb when I'm trying to follow a plan, and that seems to work for me. It keeps my metabolism guessing. Share in the comments the type of keto or low carb plan that you follow, or any tips and advice you might have for us that are following the same type of lifestyle or journey that you're on. I'm planning soon to get full force back into this way of life. It's a lifestyle, it's not a diet. I would love to find some friends that are kind of in the same mindset. We can support and walk along together. If you try this recipe, let me know in the comments what you think about it. I really appreciate you coming along with me today. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Hit that notification bell. Have a blessed day. Lela out.